Early. I'm here. Hope you all are well. Happy hump day to everyone in the viewing audience. This is breaking news. Sources told to Mr. Brian Enton. Well, we now learn the reason why Mr. Jake was standing out in that field, desert area, looking stupid, aloof, because the child isn't there. And that was mentioned. Is it a possibility that the child was not there? He didn't seem to be aiding in the search. That was said per report that he was not aiding in the search. And as I said before in my live yesterday, why would he aid in the search of something he discarded? I threw it away for a reason, so why am I going to go look for it? Sources say he told an inmate, fake inmate, don't know if it was a real inmate or another officer or whomever, but he told someone, a warm body, that he did indeed kill his child. So the information he gave police that he rolled over on the child and panicked and buried the child so he could have somewhere to go and mourn his child was all a farce. This is called, still sticking to her story, that the child was kidnapped. But as Vinnie Politan said, that ain't getting ready to fly much longer. Her version of the child being kidnapped. Here we go. Brian Enton is the source, everybody.
Jake Haro told a fake inmate in the jail that he killed baby Emmanuel and put the baby in a trash can in his house. Let me repeat that again. Sources say that Jake Haro told a fake inmate in the jail that he killed baby Emmanuel and put the baby in a trash can operation, a Perkins operation, which is when police use a fake inmate to try to get information out of someone who has been arrested. Police to that spot out along the freeway, this video that we have that shows him out there searching. That story, I'm told police believe, was all made up. First they got that story, then they decided to do the Perkins operation, I'm told, which is when they used the fake inmate, and when they say they got the information that Jake Haro actually killed baby Emmanuel and put baby Emmanuel into a trash can. Meanwhile, baby Emmanuel's mother, I'm told, is still sticking to the same story. They also did a Perkins operation with her in jail, and she is standing by her story that baby Emmanuel was kidnapped. That is also, you'll remember what she told a reporter who she talked to in jail. So many tragic twists and turns in this case. My big concern right now is that if this story is true, that police allegedly found out about through this Perkins operation, that he killed baby Emmanuel and put him into a trash can, and that may have been up to 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Will they ever actually find baby Emmanuel? I'm joined now by Kim Dagonia, a former Riverside County prosecutor. Thank you for joining me again, Kim. I want to start with this new reporting that we have, that Jake confessed to police that he rolled over the baby, killed the baby, and then buried the baby. But apparently that story was not true, right?
Yes, that is correct. My inside sources are telling me that was absolutely a lie. He made that all up to the police in order to, I guess, garner some type of sympathy, garner some type of a linear charge or sentence, but he made up this entire fabricated story that he was asleep with the baby Emmanuel, that he rolled over onto baby Emmanuel. When he woke up, he realized the baby was dead, and he panicked, and so he went out to the Gilman Springs area that we saw him with the police the other day, and he buried the body because he wanted to have the opportunity to go back and
actually what is known as, is it a Perkins operation? So it's actually a police officer who he admitted to actually killing the baby. First of all, can you explain what a Perkins operation is?
Sure. We don't know if the person who was undercover was a police in the jail cell pretending to be an inmate in the same inmate close as Jake Haro, shackled in the same manner in which, in hopes that he will admit whatever really happened to baby Emmanuel to these fake inmates.
He stupidly admitted it.
And this, it's called a Perkins operation. It's these types of investigative tools have been going on for decades in agencies and district attorneys' offices across California. It's a very standard and typical investigative tool that you see the sheriff's department use in many different cities and counties. At the center of a lot of the controversy a few years ago, from that came a much tighter rein on how these are conducted. You know, the Riverside District Attorney's Office, from my understanding and my experience, has gone to great lengths along with the Sheriff's Department to make sure that they are following and using this tool as an investigative means to get a confession out of many defendants over the years.
So this was a fake inmate who he told reportedly that that he killed baby Emmanuel and then put baby Emmanuel into a trash can. I'm just thinking about waste management and all the trash cans and the landfill. I mean, it sounds like this could be very difficult in terms of finding his remains.
Quite
Yes,
difficult.
that's the sad part of all this. That is correct. He did confess to these, we would call them fake inmates, that he did kill baby Emmanuel and that he threw him in the trash can at his home. Approximately waste management, from my understanding, has told the sheriff's department it would be nearly impossible to determine which waste bin it was in and which landfill this particular trash can would have gone to, making it almost impossible that we will ever find baby Emmanuel's body.
That's awful to think about.
It really is.
Terrible.
It really is.
I want to stop right there. Brian Inton is the source. About 7 minutes into that commentary, about a 20-minute video. Feel free to check it out. Let's chop it up. Welcome to the Vault XL. So we now know the search exacted early this week was a ruse, was fake, fraudulent. Jake had no idea that he had confessed to someone who was working undercover to get information out of him deliberately. He fell for it. Hello, Random. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody in the chat. He fell for the ruse. The Perkins operation is what it is called. It was used on Jake, Haro, and also on Rebecca. Rebecca didn't fall for it. She stuck to her story of the baby was kidnapped. As for Jake, he confessed to inmates that he killed the kid, meaning to me, I deliberately killed the kid, threw him in a trash can at home, and obviously threw him outside, and the trash company took him away. So the search done earlier in the week was for show. Repeat, the search was done for show. The reason why there's a report saying he didn't aid in the search. As I said before, people don't go look for what they've discarded. If they're looking, they're just trying to see what people are saying or just showing up because it's expected of them. But later down the road, we've learned that with Scott Peterson, they leave well enough alone. They stay out of the way because they're done with the person. They've moved on. You still care. You're invested. They're not. You're invested. They're involved in the case. Who are the guilty parties? They stop cooperating. They stop answering questions from the sheriff, the police, FBI, whomever. Not coming out, not being seen. They've moved on. Here's where I have a problem with the trash company. Every jurisdiction has a company or company. The mother put the child in a trash bin at a trailer park. They tracked her through GPS. They also had a camera on the trailer park, and they were able to go to the trash company that serviced that trailer park and found that kid, what was left of the child. Okay? If you all remember that story in Savannah a few years ago. So, baby boy. Fast forward 2025. You don't know which trash site child services his house. Is crazy to me. So how many trash companies this house? You're in the middle of the desert. Help me understand. I'm confused. How many trash companies service this house? 2, 3, 4, what? What are we saying? This is bad. What we have is good as far as a confession. He did kill the kid deliberately, obviously. They're not saying in this report how he killed the kid, why he killed the kid, but he did it. So the rollover story he gave to authorities was a lie. Where they went to search for the child was a lie. Jake Haro has told inmates he killed his kid, baby Emmanuel. As for the mother, she's sticking with the kidnap story, which is going to be a problem because you can't have one person saying, yeah, I killed the kid, I threw him in the garbage can, and the mother don't know about her child missing a week before she reported him missing. So was she delusional that she thought she was carrying and feeding a baby? And she just woke up one day and said, oh, my baby's gone. Honey, have you seen my baby, our baby? Make it make sense. You go to a store, you're getting ready to change your diaper in a car. Somebody says, hola, hits you, you come to off the floor. See, all that's reenactment from what happened at that house. I've been put that together. Oh, I came to from the floor. Yeah, your floor at your house, because that's where the hell you probably got knocked down when you got the 2 black eyes. Say whoa. And I didn't notice the other eye. Somebody in the chat had said, oh, Angela was 2 black eyes. So yes, it just looks like she's been banged up 2 times. I won't doubt probably the same time the child got banged up, if you get my drift. Everybody was getting punched by Jake. We know he likes to beat babies. He's already pled guilty to a previous charge of his child years ago with a previous wife. That wife was charged as well. Fast forward years later, 7, 8 years later, you got a whole kid missing, and now you've confessed to somebody who you thought was an inmate, and they're sucking information out of you, and you fell for it. Thank you. We appreciate it. This is horrific. Once again, another horrible story. Dodo bird-ass woman who's laid up with a man younger than her, 9 years younger than her, desperate for love, I guess, and allowing him to beat and batter her damn babies. So there's no way I'm going to sit here and think he wasn't beating up the 2-year-old. He damn near killed the 8-year-old girl. So when you come in this chat saying, oh, I don't think he beat the 2-year-old up, what planet are you on? Are you serious? You don't think he didn't abuse the 2-year-old? Huh? There's a whole kid dumped somewhere. There's another kid can't walk, can't talk, can't see, and has a trach in her throat. How much clarification do you need? See, I deal with the real world. And what you've heard in this report and from this man's previous conviction, it's dry. What the judge decided to do as far as his sentencing, well, let's just say 100%. He beat this small baby to death and discarded the child in his own trash can and took it outside and put in the regular trash for the trash company to pick up. Where's the confusion about who Jake Haro is? He's deviant, and you have got to check yourself that you've got some issues yourself, because I'm supposed to sit here and believe she didn't know he had this criminal record. And let's just say she didn't know. At some point in their relationship, I believe he showed his true colors. Okay? He showed his true colors. And he's a batterer. And more than likely, that's where her 2 black eyes to play. He's beating her, he's beating his child, okay? This is bad. And I fought the judge because you allowed this thing to walk the street. How in the world could you give a person 6 months in jail for beating a child? Help me understand. And probation. He just violated or caught a charge a month ago or so for gun possession. He's a known drug user. And we're not even going to use drugs as an excuse for him being a batterer. That's a choice. It's a choice to get high on drugs. It's a choice to drink. It's a choice to beat people up. And I get it. When people get on drugs, they may be doing things that they wouldn't normally do if they were not getting high. But as I said to somebody yesterday, at some point in life, you have to stand a tone and account for the things that you do, whether you are inebriated or not. You can't keep getting a pass. Oh, I was high, I was drunk. I was high, I was drunk. I was angry, okay? You just can't go out here, shoot up a building, shoot up people, stab people in a Walmart because you're having a bad day. And there are always signs that these people are unglued. And he's shown that already. He has a whole conviction for beating up a baby. And now we have another kid missing, discarded out here in the world, in the state of California, allegedly. I guess in a trash heap. Where? Don't know. This is the latest, everybody. This is bad. Let me talk to Miss Rebecca. Honey, you need to come out this funk that you're in. Because, see, I know what you're doing. You're saying to yourself, I'm not going to own that I killed my kid. I'm not going to own that Jake killed the kid, discarded the kid, because then I'll get a higher sentence. Because, one, I have filed a fake police report, and also there was a charge also with the malice murder charge. I filed a fake police report, my husband and myself. That's one charge, probably a misdemeanor. Then the child is missing, dead. They find the body. That's going to show that the child didn't walk himself out there to wherever the baby's found. So I'm going to be culpable. She knows exactly what she's doing. She sticks to this kidnap story. She's feeling like I am excluding myself from whatever happened to the kid, whether she knows or not. Most of us know she knows because she's the mother. How could you not know what happened to your kid? You knew the police had you hook, line, and sinker when you gave the story of the Big Five because you're not on CCTV footage getting knocked down. Nobody's running with your kid. Nobody's getting in a vehicle with your kid because it never happened. That's why she stopped talking. So she knows if I stick to this kidnap story, no matter what evidence they have, I'm going to play it out until the end or until I decide to fold. But for right now, I'm going to stick to that story because I'm not going to admit I know my baby is dead. So she's playing a dirty game just like Jake Haro. They're both sick. They're both evil. They're both demented because they've been playing a dirty game for weeks with authorities. The child's been dead allegedly a week before she reported the child missing, okay? So the child is smushed down to nothing at this point, okay? We're almost in September. They know that. Why they chose that day, I don't know. And where we have a problem besides the child in a trash heap, relatives say they hadn't seen the child in a month. So what's the truth between this new information of the child possibly alive a week before the 14th and relatives saying, well, I haven't seen the child in a month. So now you got to ask, what was the relationship of the person giving this information? Is this somebody that visited them, talked to them, video chatted with them? What's the relationships like for somebody to say, hey, I haven't seen the baby in a month? You mean through a phone, through pictures, through Facebook posts, or physically, or all of the above? That's problem number 2. Child in a trash heap, hard to decide where and which dump site the child was discarded by a dump truck. And the relatives' notion, I ain't seen them in a month. Who is this person? How many people are saying this? When was the last time they visited with these people, video chatted, so on and so forth? This is a hot butter mess. And as I have said before pertaining to true crime, just as quick as you're talking about one horrible, horrific story, there's another one brewing and on the horizon. Every day there's a terrible, terrible story about a missing kid, battered kid, abused kid, baby. It's nonstop. We have horrible people out here breeding children like animals and just discarding them once they're born and expecting their kids to fend for themselves when they need to stop procreating. You don't want to be a mother, then you need to use birth control. You don't want to be a father, hello Marie, then use birth control, use a condom. Abstain. That was the old way of not getting pregnant and getting a young lady pregnant. You close your legs. You keep your wee-wee in your pocket and you keep your girlfriend closed. These stories are all the same. I'm gonna say something. Some people might get offended. It's okay. I've been watching a little bit of content pertaining to people they're interviewing pertaining to this, I don't mean to laugh, but pertaining to this missing kid, dead child. And I don't mean to be rude, but some of the people they've been interviewing, I've just been noticing they all got tattoos. The women got tattoos here, there, all down the legs, calves. I'm just looking like, you know, Queen, I'm a heavy thinker. I was just sitting thinking to myself, because I'm getting Cal City vibes, like I said, all over again. I start to wonder about the people who stand outside and give interviews to the news. I'm just saying. Because as you see, you didn't know these people. And I'm sure there's somebody who would say, oh, they're good people, they're nice, blah, blah, blah. Well, I say the same for the people that the news interviews. You don't know these people. You don't know them from a can of paint. You don't know what type of people they are. And anybody can get on front of the news and say, oh, I feel bad, I can't sleep at night. As I was listening to a young lady say earlier, oh, I can't sleep. I keep checking my phone to see what's going on, to get a notification or if there's any updates pertaining to the kid. And the first thing I was thinking to myself, because it looked like she's with another woman, and I was wondering maybe if they were girlfriends, married, or whatever, not to be, profiling or nothing. But my head was thinking, who are these people putting balloons and stuffed animals on this fence? Do they have children? Do they treat their children well? Have they ever been investigated for child abuse? I always wonder that when people, you know what I'm saying, give their opinion pertaining to true crime, especially when it comes to children. Because as you see in this story, we didn't know these people from a can of paint. We just know a few weeks ago, a lady said her child was kidnapped, and many people believed her. Until the police started telling the world, hey, this lady has been giving us inconsistent information. Naturally, they've gone to stores to check their surveillance cameras, and they have gathered that she has been lying, she and her husband. So when I see people giving interviews to the news, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking the same as I would pertaining to the perpetrators. All these people jumping in front of the camera, crying and saying, oh, I feel so bad for this missing baby boy. Oh, I can't sleep at night. I'm wondering about them too. What type of life do you have? What type of life are you living? Are you a good mother? Are you a good father? Are you putting on for the camera? Do you have dealings with DHS for child abuse, neglect? Just throwing that out there, because some of the people that I've been watching it from yesterday until today, all the women, they look so hard, and they're all tattooed up. And it's not to discriminate, against anybody that wears tattoos, but I'm just watching, from my home and just looking at all these interviews. And I don't know, as I said, I'm just getting creepy Cal City vibes. And I don't really want to say what I want to say, because somebody will probably get offended. It's just the type of people I'm seeing being interviewed. I don't know. I'm wondering about them too, hell. That's all I'm saying. A lot of these people are like street folks. I'm just going to say it. Okay. Hey, it's my channel. I say what I want to say. It's a lot of street folks. And it's like Cal City to me all over again. Same type of people that are out there hooping and hollering and rallying outside Trezell and Jacqueline's house were relatives of the missing Cal City boys. Those boys were never placed with a relative, which I find very odd even to this day, because obviously the state didn't think any of you were fit to take care of the children. And when you've got children abused and nobody's confessing to how a child got a damn leg broke, knee broke, why would I give them to your mom, your dad, your cousin, when nobody's telling me the truth about how one of these kids got abused? So I'm not going to hand these kids over to your relatives. And that makes a lot of sense. And it's not to judge and say, hey, there's not some good people in the family, but you do have to use discretion in just handing children over to people, because we have seen in so many cases, they'll still let those people come around and be around the kid knowing they've abused them or allowed other people to abuse them. So the child is going right back into the lion's den. And that's exactly what happened with the Cal City boys. They ended up back in the lion's den with the wrong foster family / adoptive parents. So I'm always leery as well of shuffling children around. I don't care who and where they're going. Foster care, group home, grandma house, auntie house, neighbor, friend, it's all the same to me. You don't know people. That's my point. And as I said, it's not to be judgmental of a person's relatives, but we have seen many cases of children being placed with relatives, foster care families, parents being adopted, and they ended up worse than where they came from. And some have ended up dead, which is exactly what happened with the Cal City boys. So as I'm just looking through the looking glass at these people being interviewed, I'm looking at everybody the same. That's just Queen. Because you have to really be honest. How can I not even look at the people being interviewed and not wonder what type of person they are? We all make mistakes. We can all be redeemed through Jesus Christ if you believe in God, his son. But understand what I'm saying? I'm just creeped out by this whole story. I'm creeped out by the parents. I'm creeped out about people not paying attention. Allegedly, a neighbor hadn't seen a woman in only once in 4 years. All this is weird to me. The fact that she's at least 9 or 10 years older than Jake, why did she choose him? Did she know about his criminal record? Was he beating her up often? Was he beating the children up often? Had the child been to the doctor? Has he been vaccinated? What about the 2-year-old? Was that child being beat up? Was even Rebecca beating up her children, neglecting her children, who all lived in the house? You all came in the chat yesterday saying something about a brother died there or overdosed there. That probably is the father of this baby. I don't know. I don't want to be putting out misinformation or any lies on these people, because I don't do that type of hype. But the point I'm making is that you don't know them. And I think the fact that he's confessed to a fake inmate has proven the point. You don't know him. You don't know Rebecca. You don't even know that grandma, because she's a part of this story too. Another Grandis. Stay woke. This is Cal City, Summer Wells, all wrapped up neatly in a bow. Please check out my live from yesterday, where I compare this Haro story to Summer Wells and the Cal City boys. And it seems like it's just a repeat. Summer Wells 2021, Cal City years before that, 2025, it's the same creepy, eerie, jacked up SHIT about another baby. He just so happens to be younger than Summer Wells and the Cal City boys, but nonetheless, it's still abuse, of a child, and it's horrific, and it just pisses me off that we're once again discussing a missing kid. I had no intention to even be talking about baby Emmanuel, but my interest was piqued, in listening to, the videos pertaining to the parents and their interviews and what didn't seem right. So I decided to go ahead and talk about the story. But I don't like talking about children being abused. That's not even my type of hype. And personally, even with true crime stories and documentaries on TV, I don't like talking about. I don't like watching kidnap stories, kidnap movies. I don't like watching content about child molestation. I just don't get into that. It's just something personal I don't like thinking about. I'll watch a mystery, a thriller, but, if it's dealing with children, whether it's fiction or not, nonfiction, I just don't like anything dealing with kidnapping kids, essay of a child. I just don't care for that type of stuff. And that's how I feel here on the network. Really don't like talking about kid stories because I don't like what comes with it. A lot of BS comes with it. A lot of crazy nonsense from family members, gossip, Facebook, people wanting to immerse themselves in the case, just like what they did with Cal City, just like what they did with Summer Wells, people wanting to go on the property and break into the house and dig through the garbage, asinine type behavior that is not right. And if anybody did break into their house or snooped on their property, you were wrong for that. You had no right. And this is why a lot of people are not genuine, as my friend Chris Thorns has said. Please check out his network. You're just doing anything for a click and a view. And that means there's something wrong with you, because going on to a crime scene after the fact means there's something wrong with you too. You're mentally inept. Like somebody said the other day, why would you want to go break into a house where somebody killed a kid? I mean, eventually there was blood on the carpet and the floorboards. So he beat this damn baby. And you want to walk around this place and do what? Oh, take photographs, pictures. Oh, I'm inside. Yeah, breaking and entering. You're breaking into a whorehouse. Use your head. You have broken into a whorehouse, if this is true, to take pictures, videos. You're just as sick as the Haros, and that's my personal opinion. Some of you might be into that type of content. I'm not. If the police, district attorney want to reveal to us the crime scene down the road, the pictures, what the house looked like, what they gathered, that is different, because that's legal. Not some old random ass TikToker, YouTuber, attention whore posting shit to a video. Hey, look what I've done. This is why I tell you, there are people out here just as sick as the perpetrators. That's why I said about news cameras running up to strangers. Hey, what do you think about this story? You don't even know who you're talking to right here. They're probably just as crazy as the Haros. So these bloggers, whatever they want to call themselves, it's the same thing. I'm leery of everybody bringing the story, because sometimes you can get out of hand in bringing the information, and you're doing unsavory things to get attention, such as putting the title up on the video. Same thing. You don't really know what's the truth or not. Just like when they were talking about the baby being found. This one guy was going live the other night, and people were getting mad at him because he wouldn't say the baby was found. And he's a detective, his YouTube channel. He's like, I'm not getting ready to say the baby was found if I don't have it confirmed. And I agree. Why should he say, oh yeah, they're out there searching, they found the kid? Well, the news people didn't tell us that they found the kid. The sheriff didn't tell us they found the kid. So the YouTuber was like, I'm not getting ready to go lie just because Jake's out there with the authorities. Yeah, we know they're out there searching, but I'm not getting ready to lie and say, oh yeah, they found the kid. Well, look what happened. You go into Tuesday, no baby. It's now Wednesday, no baby. You can't make the creator say what you want him or her to say. And a lot of you got that bad. You just see the scene and then all of a sudden just say, well, oh, the baby's out there. The baby's out there. This is why you have to be careful about what you report, even from the news, because sometimes they get it wrong because they're going by what somebody told them. So this is why I always tell people, don't get mad at what I say or somebody else say as far as the information, because everything is third, fourth, fifth exchange. And as you see, the baby has not been located. The baby's not out there. So for all those people that were getting angry with bloggers about the baby and getting mad because the YouTuber won't say the baby was found, well, it wasn't found. And that guy did the right thing by saying, I'm not getting ready to say he's out here. Well, now you know Jake lied. This is why you have to be careful what you repeat. And I even told myself, I'm going to start waiting a day or two before I bring out information. Now, I wasn't going to play Brian Enton. I was just going to repeat what was said. But my spirit said, no, don't do that. Go ahead and play the audio in case somebody comes in wanting to dispute the information. I brought a source. And he let you know these were sources told to him of what happened in the jail that Jake confessed to killing the kid. So if you need any verification, Brian Enton is the source of the information I played earlier in this live. Now I'll ask you, do you believe the information repeated in this live stream and on that network that Jake confessed to someone in the jail that he killed his kid and discarded him in the home trash can and then put him in the trash outside? I'll probably put that up as a poll. It's a real sad situation. Justice for baby Emmanuel. Because if indeed he was thrown out in the trash, we're now talking about 3 weeks or more, he may not be found. And then another thing, are we to believe what he told the fake inmate? Because if he lied to the police, imagine the full number once tested, disgusting. Say what? I don't know what you're talking about, Paul. Imagine if he lied to the police that he rolled over on the kid. Who's to say he didn't lie to this inmate? I don't know. Because my thing is, a liar's a liar. At what point do you believe what's the truth? So if he lied to the police, he rolled over on a kid, but then he goes to jail and say, oh, well, I killed the kid. He may have killed the kid, but how do we know he put the kid in the trash? Because that's, to me, risky, putting a child in your own trash can. I personally wouldn't put the child in the trash can. I mean, I personally wouldn't be killing a kid, but you understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't put a kid in my own trash can, because even at 7 months, 9 months, the baby will have some weight on it. Some people are curious, when they pick up the trash, they might be like, it's kind of heavy. What's in here? Imagine opening the bag and seeing a baby in there. These people are not bright. But they're out in the middle of nowhere. May have put the baby in the trash, outside the trash can. Trash man picked it up, didn't think no more about it, swung it into the truck, kept it moving. I don't know. I don't know. So what do you all think of the latest information? Jake confessing to an inmate, fake inmate, that he did kill the kid. That's the latest information, everybody. Please check out my shorts from yesterday. Check out my shorts from today. I did some shorts yesterday, and then I did some late in the morning or late night. And I'm going to do some after this live. I'll put up a short pertaining to the latest information. I don't know where it can go at this point. It's bad. This is a very bad situation. And now I'm curious about the 2-year-old. Who has the 2-year-old? How's the 2-year-old doing? How the other children doing that belong to Rebecca and Jake? They also have, separate children. How are those children doing? And I really feel bad for the one child, 8-year-old. I can't imagine not being able to walk. I can't talk, can't see, and have a trach. So I guess the child can only hear. What kind of life can that be? 8-year-old. You can hear. So she can hear music, she can hear people talking. She can't see. She can't walk. She can't talk. It's pretty bad. So when we sit up and we complain about our lives in our worst moment, when we're not feeling good, maybe we can't walk good, got some knee problems, back problems. Just imagine you can't see. You can't talk. You have a trach in your throat. You can't walk. Even if you're amputated, you can still try to enjoy life. You can't walk well. We've got wheelchairs, we've got scooters to where you can still be able to get out and enjoy life. Go sit at the dock, look at the river, look at the lake. You still sit by a swimming pool, maybe not swim, but you understand what I'm saying. You still coherent and aware of your faculties. And that's better than not being able to, you can't see, or you couldn't hear. You can't walk, you can't talk. So in hearing that story about that little girl, you have reasons to be grateful, to be humbled. Hey, Lord. That's the latest, everybody. It's a bad situation. A truly horrific situation. What's next? Because this looks like this is turning into a really bad episode of Days of Our Lives and all my children. Brian Enton has kindly put it. Confessions, lies to the police, and then the crazy wife, Rebecca, she's sticking to her story that, that the baby was kidnapped. I don't know who's crazier, him or her. She's really cuckoo too. I ain't getting ready to say that baby's dead. Y'all ain't gonna pin that baby on me. I'm gonna keep saying my baby's kidnapped. I don't understand how she thinks this is gonna work out in her favor. He's already done confessed the baby's dead, thrown out, discarded, and you're saying, no, I was hit. I was hit from behind. Well, what happened to your eyes? You fell on your ground and got your eyes black. This woman is crazy. But she knows she can't say the baby's dead. I'm on to her. I know exactly why she's not confessing to a dead baby. She knows once you say it, you can't take it back. Rebecca knows exactly what she's doing. I am not going to claim I killed the baby. I know that he murdered the baby and that the baby's discarded wherever. She is not going to say it. She may later, once it settles in her head, I ain't coming out of here. There ain't no bond, ain't no bail, ain't nobody got no money, ain't nobody getting ready to get me out of here. Okay, I'm stuck in here until trial, or unless I go to the district attorney and say, hey, I want to take a plea or whatever, if they decide to offer her one. She knows claiming the child is dead seals the deal. Because once you say it, you can't take it back. You can, of course, because people do. They change their pleas and stuff all the time. Guilty, not guilty, whatsoever. Or, hey, I felt coerced. But for now, her brain is telling her, don't say nothing about that baby being dead. Just keep lying. The baby was kidnapped. Don't matter what Jake has told authorities, fake inmates, whatever, you dispute it. You dispute it. Now, as I said, she might change her mind. Once the authorities tell her, ma'am, Jake is telling another story. She might change her mind. And I'm sure she's heard about the search. I'm sure she's heard Jake has confessed to a fake inmate, because they do talk in jail. For those who don't know, they get information just like we do, and we're free. They get it in there as well because the guards talk, they nitpick and poke at them, and they'll tell them, oh, hey, your husband, he just told an inmate that he killed your kid. What you gonna do? Oh, you think she don't know? Oh, she knows. She knows Jake has confessed. Now she's got to decide now if she still wants to ride on this kidnap story or go ahead and tell the truth. Okay, the gig is up. Yes, he killed the kid. Yes, he buried the kid. I know that he killed the kid. He put the kid in the trash inside the house. We cleaned up, blah, blah, blah. He put the kid in the trash bin outside, and the trash company came and took the kid. So that's going to be the next poll I put on the community page. Will Rebecca own up to the murder of Emmanuel by her husband or any participation in the murder? Because she has to be complicit to the cover-up because she's the mother. There's no way she can even say that. I didn't know where the kid was. He told me he took the kid over here and left it with his sister, brother, cousin. I've been trying to find the baby. Then why are you reporting your baby missing? Hit in the head, woke up at the Big Five because you knew he killed your kid. And I'm going to tell you something else, and I'm going to check out of here. Who's to say she wasn't beating her baby? Because that baby looks like he had something wrong with him. When you look at some of the photographs that have been released to the public, the child has like a dead stare in some of the photographs. And I'm wondering if perhaps the baby had some type of developmental issues at birth, or they did something to the kid after birth to where he's just like, he looks like he's just staring off into space. I think there was something wrong with that kid. I think they knew there was something wrong with the kid, either by their hands or he was born a certain way. They didn't want to fool with him anymore. They didn't want to deal with him anymore. Yeah, she knows what happened. They didn't want to deal with that baby. And you know that when babies have challenges, you have to stay in hospitals more, doctor's offices more. You're always running back and forth to hospitals. It becomes daunting, and people become exasperated, rightfully so. Not to say they hate their child, but when you're dealing with a child that is sickly or has some type of issues, it can wear you out. Now, you factor in he's a batterer. She's allowing herself to be battered, her children battered. So to me, she's no different than he. She's the same. She's going to get tired as well. Because who's going to allow somebody to beat up their damn baby if they ain't down with the child getting beat up? That means you're the same. So for all I know, she's beating her baby too. She's standing there watching him beat the damn baby. And he probably is beating that 2-year-old. I'm waiting to hear the shape of that 2-year-old. Was she hurt? Did she have healing bones, ribs, elbows? What? Contusions? I haven't heard anything about the 2-year-old, the shape of that 2-year-old, but I won't doubt they probably hurt the 2-year-old too. We know he hasn't changed because we have a whole kid missing, and now we have a confession that he killed the kid. So you can't say he didn't beat up the 2-year-old. What would be special about the 2-year-old? Oh, we're not going to hurt her. She's exempt. We're not going to beat her up. Well, what's the difference? What was wrong with that last baby, the little girl? What did she do so terrible? Nothing. That's my point. No discrimination. Because that's how I look at life. Because I live in the real world. If you can beat a baby who can't walk or talk, you can beat a 2-year-old. That is still a baby, a 2-year-old. You've already done it to another kid. She can't even damn see, walk or talk. You would beat this 2-year-old. Hello, Gigi. I'm out of here, everybody. Latest developments. Mr. Haro has confessed to killing the child to a fake inmate. That is the latest information coming from Brian Enton. Check out his network to get the said information. Rebecca is still holding on to the kidnap story. That is the latest update. I will put up some more posts and shorts after this live. God bless all of you. Have a wonderful week. Check out my movie of the week. It's from Lifetime. Cardi B is on trial for a civil trial of assaulting a female security guard many years ago. And that trial is on as I speak. Feel free to check it out. I will bring you updates pertaining to that said trial. And those are the latest developments. And then once again, Austin Drummond, who's been accused of killing the 4 family members in Tennessee, his bond for the attempted murder charge from prison has been revoked. So that's the latest information coming out of Tennessee pertaining to Austin Drummond. His bond for the attempted murder charge has been revoked. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below this video. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $BigAngie129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Thank you for coming in, everybody. I will bring you an update as I get the said information. Justice for baby Emmanuel. I'm praying for some type of resolution. But if indeed the child was taken to a trash site, there may be no proper burial for the baby. That's the latest. Y'all have a wonderful week. You've been listening to the Vaughn Exhale. See you later.